Welcome to Byte-Sized Tech, where we like to blend casual conversations with, insightful discussions on all the latest in technology and gadgets. So today, we're going to be diving into a stack of articles you've given us from TLDR, TLDR AI, and the Neuron.
Okay.
Sounds like someone's hungry for some tech knowledge.
Always.
Awesome. Well, let's get started then.
But let's jump right in.
So the Neuron, they always have an interesting take on things.
Right.
And they kick things off with a pretty attention-grabbing headline.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, big tech is making bank, but AI is getting really expensive.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's almost like they're on this like AI spending spree.
Yeah.
And I can't help but wonder, is this a bubble about to burst?
That's a great question.
I know, right?
Well, let's look at some of the numbers here.
Okay.
Google Cloud is seeing a pretty big revenue growth, like 35%.
Wow.
Meta's up 19%, and then Microsoft is at 16%, but their Azure cloud platform is jumping a whole 33%.
That sounds like they're, having a party over there.
Yeah, it sounds like a pretty expensive party, though.
Yeah, that's true, because the Neuron also points out that Meta and Microsoft stocks actually dipped after these announcements.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. So what's going on there then?
Well, it seems to all boil down to, the just crazy cost of AI infrastructure.
Oh, right.
The Neuron highlights some pretty mind-blowing stats.
Like what?
Like Microsoft and Meta are spending more on AI infrastructure in a single quarter than they used to spend in a whole year.
Wow.
We're talking pre-2020 levels for Microsoft and pre-2017 for Meta.
That's a huge change.
Yeah, so even though, these companies are bringing in more money, investors are maybe getting a little nervous about how sustainable all of these investments are.
Makes sense. They're kind of building a mansion on a foundation of sand.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder, if even these tech giants are feeling the squeeze. What does this mean for smaller AI companies?
Right. Are they even going to be able to keep up?
Yeah, is this pace of spending even remotely sustainable?
Right.
Yeah, lots to think about. But let's shift gears a little bit and talk about something a bit more tangible, like AI tools that, everyday people can actually use.
Oh, yeah.
The Neuron highlighted a few in their Treats to Try section that I thought were interesting.
Okay, what did they have?
Well, one that stood out to me was this thing called Omnigen.
Omnigen.
Yeah, it's an image model that can keep character appearances consistent across multiple images.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, imagine like the possibilities for, visual storytelling.
That's true. No more, magically switching outfits between scenes.
Exactly.
Yeah, consistency is definitely key in visual storytelling.
For sure. This could be like a game changer for artists, designers, anyone working with visuals.
Yeah, I can see that.
Another one they mentioned was Wand. Have you heard of that?
I have not.
It's an iPhone app that turns your rough sketches into finished artwork.
Whoa, so like suddenly everyone's an artist.
That's right.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then there's this thing called Joe Bright.
Okay.
It's an AI-powered career assistant.
Oh.
Yeah, helps you find jobs, tailor your resume, and even provides you with 247 coaching support.
What, like a personal career coach in your pocket?
Pretty much.
Wow.
So these are just a few examples of how AI is, moving beyond the hype and into practical applications that can actually, benefit us in our daily lives.
Yeah, I like that it's becoming something that we can actually use.
Right. It's not just this, futuristic concept anymore.
Exactly. And it makes you wonder, what other amazing AI tools are just around the corner.
For sure. For sure. Well, speaking of interesting developments, I was reading in TLDR about Apple's latest move.
Okay.
And it's kind of interesting because while everyone else seems to be shouting about, their AI advancements from the rooftops, Apple quietly announced these new MacBook Pros with M4 Pro and M4 Max chips.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no flashy keynote presentation or anything, just a simple press release.
Interesting. So it seems like while other companies are really focused on showcasing their AI capabilities, Apple is letting their hardware updates speak for themselves.
Yeah, it's a fascinating contrast for sure. The key upgrades here seem to be the 24 GB base RAM for M4 Pro models, up from 16 GB previously.
Okay.
And they're slated for a November 8th release date.
Got it.
So they're beefing up their processing power, but staying relatively quiet about their, AI strategy.
Right. It makes you wonder, are these upgrades enough to keep them competitive in the, increasingly AI-driven tech landscape?
Or are they secretly working on something big behind the scenes?
It's like they're playing a game of chess while everyone else is playing checkers.
I like that analogy.
Their quiet approach definitely leaves us with more questions than answers.
Yeah, for sure. But speaking of groundbreaking tech, TLDR Science had a little snippet that completely blew my mind.
Oh, really? What was that?
Scientists have digitized scent.
Wait, they can make a computer smell.
I know, right? Does this mean I can finally send the aroma of freshly baked cookies through email?
Not quite yet, but we're getting closer.
Okay, so how's it work?
Well, the company behind this is called Osmo, and they've developed a system that analyzes air molecules to identify a specific scent and then basically prints that scent as a clear liquid that smells just like the original.
Wow, okay, so that's seriously cool. But seriously, how long until I can send virtual cookies to my friends?
While the, potential for fun applications like that is definitely there, the real impact of this technology could be much broader.
Like what?
Well, imagine recreating lost scents, revolutionizing the perfume and food industries, even diagnosing diseases based on smell.
No way.
Yeah, the possibilities are pretty mind-boggling.
That's amazing. But it also kind of makes you wonder about the ethical implications.
Right.
What happens when we can manipulate and reproduce smells at will?
Yeah, could this technology be used to, deceive and manipulate people?
Right, exactly. It's
Yeah.
definitely something to think about.
Absolutely. We need to be having these discussions.
For sure. Well, we've covered a lot of ground already, from big tech's AI spending spree to Apple's stealthy moves and even digital smells.
It's amazing how fast things are changing.
I know, right? It's a lot to keep up with, but that's why we're here, I guess.
Yeah, to help break it all down.
Right. And there's still so much more to unpack, so stay tuned.
Yeah, it really is amazing to think about all the people behind all this stuff, like the developers who are building these incredible AI tools, they're really pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Speaking of developers, TLDR AI had a really interesting report on GitHub's Octaverse report.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Basically, it analyzes trends in the software development world,
Right.
and there were some pretty eye-opening findings.
Oh.
Like, did you know that Python is now the most popular language on GitHub?
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Even surpassing JavaScript.
Surpassing JavaScript.
That's impressive.
I know, right? And Jupyter notebooks, which are widely used in data science and machine learning, have also seen a massive surge in popularity.
So it seems like the rise of AI is having a pretty big impact on the tools and languages developers are using.
Yeah, it really makes you wonder, is AI changing the face of software development as we know it?
Yeah, it's a possibility for sure. And it's not just about the popularity of certain languages either.
Right.
The number of developers on GitHub has been growing like crazy, especially since tools like GitHub Copilot became widely available.
Oh, yeah, Copilot.
Yeah, that AI that helps you write code.
Right back in early 2023.
Yeah, that was a game changer.
So basically, AI is making it easier for people to learn to code and contribute to software development.
Pretty much, yeah. It's not just this, exclusive club for tech giants anymore.
Right. It's becoming more accessible.
Exactly. It's empowering more people to create and innovate.
I like that. And it's not just about quantity either, right?
No, it's about quality, too.
Yeah, TLDR AI featured an article about this company called Assembled.
Assembled.
Yeah, they're using large language models, LLMs, to improve software testing.
Oh, wow. How does that work?
Well, they've been able to generate comprehensive and accurate tests in minutes instead of hours.
That's amazing.
Yeah, frees up their engineers to focus on developing new features.
So AI is helping developers write better code faster.
Basically, yeah, it's a double win.
Sounds like AI is becoming an indispensable tool for software development teams.
It really does. And this trend of AI-assisted development is only going to accelerate.
You think so?
Yeah, TLDR AI also mentioned this new algorithm called Pitomi.
Pitomi.
Yeah, it can compress vision transformers.
So on vision transformers, those sound complicated.
They are a little bit, but basically they're a powerful type of AI that's really good at understanding images,
Okay.
but they can be computationally heavy.
Right.
So this new algorithm, Pitomi, helps make them more efficient.
Got it. So it's like making the engine of a sports car more fuel efficient without sacrificing any of the speed or power.
Exactly. These kinds of advancements are crucial for pushing the boundaries of what's possible with AI.
Especially in applications that rely on processing visual data.
Right, like self-driving cars or medical imaging.
Exactly.
It's incredible to think about how rapidly this field is evolving.
It really is mind-blowing.
But even with all these amazing advancements, it seems like some people are still hesitant to embrace AI,
Yeah, that's true.
TLDR AI mentioned this CNET survey that found only 18% of smartphone users are motivated to upgrade their devices based on AI features.
Really?
Yeah, and almost half of those surveyed said they wouldn't be willing to pay for AI subscriptions.
Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah, it really highlights the importance of building trust and transparency when it comes to AI.
Right. People need to understand how AI works, how their data is being used, what the potential benefits and risks are.
Exactly. If people don't understand something, they're naturally going to be hesitant to embrace it. You know?
Especially if it involves their personal data.
Right. It's like when smartphones first came out.
Yeah.
Some people were reluctant to switch from their, trusty flip phones.
I remember that.
But once they saw what smartphones could do and how they could improve their lives, they quickly got on board.
Right. It's all about seeing the value.
Yeah. I think we'll see a similar trajectory with AI. As the technology matures, becomes more user-friendly,
Right.
and demonstrates tangible benefits in our daily lives, people will naturally become more comfortable with it.
I agree, but it's crucial that we approach AI development and deployment responsibly,
Right.
with a focus on ethical considerations and user privacy.
Of course. Well said. Well, speaking of navigating the tech landscape, TLDR had a couple of interesting stories that caught my eye.
Oh, yeah, boy, those.
And they're not directly related to AI.
Okay.
One was about Dropbox laying off 20% of its workforce.
Oh, wow. That's a lot.
Yeah, it seems like even in the booming tech industry, not everyone is thriving.
Yeah, it's a tough market out there.
It's a reminder that technological advancement doesn't always translate into business success.
Sure.
Dropbox is facing stiff competition from companies like Google and Microsoft.
Right. They offer similar services, but as part of their broader ecosystems.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It highlights the importance of constant adaptation and innovation to stay ahead in such a dynamic market.
Yeah, you got to stay nimble.
For sure. And speaking of adaptation, TLDR also had a fascinating story about how TikTok managed to save its e-commerce business in Indonesia.
Oh, really?
Yeah, after the government banned social media platforms from processing online payments.
Oh,
TikTok had to get creative.
so what do they do?
Well, they ended up partnering with a local company called Tokopedia.
Tokopedia.
Yeah, to create a new pilot program that complies with government regulations.
That's pretty clever.
Yeah, it's a great example of how companies can navigate challenging regulatory environments by being flexible and finding innovative solutions.
Yeah. You got to think outside the box sometimes.
For sure. It's definitely a complex and ever-changing landscape out there.
It really is.
But hey, that's what makes it so exciting to follow, right?
Absolutely. There's always something new to learn and discuss.
Exactly. Well, before we wrap up this bite-sized tech deep dive, I wanted to touch on one last thing.
Okay.
It's something that the Neuron brought up that really got me thinking.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
They were talking about the future of work and how AI is going to fundamentally change the job market as we know it.
Yeah, that's a big one.
It's a topic that's generating a lot of discussion and, let's be honest, some anxiety too.
For sure. Some people are worried about AI taking their jobs.
Yeah, some fear that AI will replace human jobs, leading to widespread unemployment.
While others see it as an opportunity to automate tedious tasks.
Right, and free up human workers to focus on more creative and fulfilling work.
It's definitely a fascinating debate.
It is, and I think the reality is probably somewhere in between those two extremes.
Probably.
But one thing is for sure, AI is going to have a profound impact on the way we work.
Yeah, it's already happening.
It is, and it's something that we all need to be thinking about and preparing for.
Right. How can we adapt and thrive in this new world?
Exactly. It's not just about learning new technical skills.
No, it's about developing the adaptability, critical thinking, and problem-solving abilities that will be essential in an AI-driven world.
Well said. Very well said. Yeah, it's mind-blowing when you really think about how AI is going to reshape industries and even the fabric of our work lives.
It is, and it's really interesting to see how all these different companies are approaching it.
Yeah.
We talk about the big players like Google and Microsoft.
Right.
But what about Apple?
Yeah, what about Apple, right?
Their moves with the new MacBook Pros seem pretty subtle.
Mm-hmm.
Could they be hinting at a bigger strategy?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, because remember we were talking about how they just quietly released those MacBook Pros with the M4 Pro and the M4 Max chips.
Right.
No big presentation or anything.
Just a press release.
So they're focused on boosting those hardware capabilities.
Yeah. But where does that leave their AI ambitions?
Right. Are they deliberately downplaying their progress while secretly, working on something crazy behind the scenes?
Or are they just taking a different approach,
Yeah.
Maybe they're prioritizing those hardware improvements as the foundation for future AI stuff.
Yeah, it's like they're playing the long game.
Right. Waiting for just the right moment to show their hand.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do next.
Absolutely.
Well, while we're on the topic of, fascinating developments, let's go back to that mind-boggling news about the digital smells.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around it.
It's pretty wild.
So scientists can actually capture smells digitally.
They can. It's like something straight out of a sci-fi movie.
Right.
The company Osmo, they have this system that analyzes those air molecules to identify a specific scent,
Yeah.
and then they basically print it out as a liquid that smells exactly like the original.
Wow. So does that mean you could, like, theoretically send someone a file that contains the scent of, like, freshly baked cookies?
That's the idea.
And they could, like, smell it through some kind of device?
Exactly.
That's crazy.
It is pretty wild, right?
Yeah.
It's still early days for the technology, but the potential is huge.
Right, because you could recreate, like, the scent of a loved one's perfume.
Right.
Or experience, like, a rainforest without even leaving your house.
Exactly.
But then it also raises some ethical questions, too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like, what happens when we can just, manipulate smells however we want?
Right. Could it be used to deceive people?
Yeah, or, like, manipulate them into doing things?
Important questions to consider.
Absolutely. We need to make sure this technology is used for good.
Definitely.
That's like a reminder that, with every cool new advancement,
Right.
there are always new challenges.
Always two sides to the coin.
Well, it's been a fascinating journey, exploring all these topics with you today.
It has.
We've covered so much.
We've been all over the place.
From big tech's AI spending to the digitalization of scent and even the future of work.
And don't forget Apple's mysterious moves.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Yeah.
It's clear that, technology is changing the world incredibly fast.
It's an exciting time to be following it all.
It really is. And we hope you, the listener, have enjoyed, coming along with us.
I hope
It's
yes,
important
that
to be informed,
engage.
right, and help shape the future we want to see.
Well said.
Well, on that note, I think we've reached the end of our bite-sized tech deep dive.
Sounds good.
We hope you enjoyed it.
It was a pleasure.
And remember, the world of technology is constantly evolving.
Always moving.
So stay curious
Keep exploring.
and never stop learning.
Absolutely.
Thanks for tuning in to Byte-Sized Tech.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
If you enjoyed the episode, like, comment, share, and subscribe for more fun tech discussions.